again. My studio. It is whatever. My car is like the poor woman's studio. Anyways, I just came back from my little walk / run, whatever, and it is April 19th, and I just had a crazy and kind of terrible weekend. But yeah, and it's been also very busy. But I just got back from an open mic, and I was supposed to be in another one, but I didn't have time. So instead, I'm gonna do this, my life. So, like I said, we do poems from 2022 written on that today. I mean, we do poems from the day it's written. So, poems that I wrote on April 19th for 4 years. So that's 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. So I guess we'll get to it. Oh yeah, so yesterday I mentioned I was banned from TikTok, and it was by somebody I knew who thought it would be funny to do that to me. It was great. I think that's a poem in the making, but anyways, whatever. I'm off TikTok. I think TikTok and Snapchat are for the youngins anyway. That's a poem. Anyways, April 19th. So this one was inspired April 19th of 2022. So this book was inspired by prompts. So it's this book from 2022. April 19th. Okay. Untitled. It's hard to sit still when I'm always on the go, even if I'm sick. I still get mad for needing rest or wanting to heal. Maybe productivity is my religion, and resting is a blasphemy to me. I think that's very honest, and honestly, like, reading this today is very honest with myself. This one is called Growth. These are poems from 2022. Growth. Growth and progress is uneasy and uncomfortable. Many times you'll want to give up, but just take it day by day, or even hour by hour, because the end result of a healthier and happier you will definitely be worth it. I love it when I am so positive and hopeful like this, because lately I haven't been feeling like that. And this one is it's untitled. I don't know what I'm going to call it or what I end up calling it. Okay, untitled. Facing your fears is hard, whether it's a phobia or letting someone into your heart. But you'll never know until you try. It will either work out or it won't. But no matter what, you'll learn from the experience and walk away wiser and richer. Revealing your true self and living your truth out loud is terrifying, but you'll never know unless you try. Because the right people will stay and the wrong people will go. This is a very honest poem. I hope I edit it, or I will edit it, but I like the message in this. Alright, this one is called Spiraling, or Regret. I don't know. Spiraling. I'm spiraling down the rabbit hole. Let me try this again. Spiraling. I'm spiraling down the rabbit hole of regret, and there's nothing anyone can do or say to stop me. Because once I'm here revisiting past trauma and nostalgia, I need to stay and address whatever part of me isn't healed. I need to stay and process whatever was in process 6, 10, 5 years ago, or 9 months ago. I need to stay and understand my past misdeeds don't define me, and I need to stay and honor these feelings of regret to one day break free of them. This is very honest because I have a really bad inner critic, and when I fail at something, it's just like a earthquake kind of happens underneath my feet and swallows me up. I've probably written a poem about that. I don't want to read this one. Or this one. Because some of these are very personal to me. Okay. I'll read this one. Untitled. Feeling a loss of direction constantly made me want to change things, change me, change jobs, change houses, change others, because I've never known how to sit still and appreciate the beauty of the reality in front of me. Because to sit still means to be stagnated in my mind, because calm to me means boring and I don't want excitement. But somehow, I found my way and no longer feel lost. I just had to sit still and find whatever was missing within me and learn to embrace the calm and inner peace that came with it. I think sometimes I write these a future version of myself that feels lost, like right now. And yeah. So my soul used to crave excitement. My soul used to crave adrenaline rushes. My soul used to crave new changes in my identity because I hated the calm, because I hated the stillness, because I hated myself. But one day I learned to listen to what my soul needed, so I adjusted to its needs and dropped my sense of urgency. And I learned to enjoy the calm, and I learned to sit still, and I learned to love myself, and slowly I found my way to faith and inner peace. I think lately I've been trying to get back to my faith, like for real, not just like I'm gonna go to the convent, but more like, I don't know, I think I have to be, like I said, I think sometimes I write this poetry for a future version of myself that's like, I don't know, loss, I guess. Embryo. This one is sad, trigger warning if you've had a miscarriage or a pregnancy loss of some kind or infant loss, then this will not be for you. I'm sorry, or it might trigger something. Embryo. People called you just an embryo, but you were more than that to me. You were my dream. You were part of my heart. You were my future. And when you were stripped away from me, I felt a sense of deep loss. I felt a sense of despair. I felt a deep anger. I hated God and my body in being complicit in taking you away from me. I hated everything and everyone, especially those that said, everything happens for a reason. And I didn't know how to move forward, but I did. I like to think it was your spirit that helped me. And while the heartbreak was excruciating, I finally see the purpose of your short existence. So, not a happy ending, but I guess a silver lining after that. I got pregnant with my last child, and now he's 14, and he's really great. This one is so me right now. Banned my heart. I've banned my heart from love because I'm scared to get it broken once again. Because I'm scared of falling off someone's pedestal. Because I'm scared of causing trauma and emotional damage. So I've banned my heart from love. And it won't be forever. Forever. It will just be until I find the right one who accepts the real me. Obviously, I'm shit at relationships. I don't mind saying that. I just am. Like, I'm good at many things in my life. I'm good at other relationships. I'm a good mother. I'm a good worker. I'm very creative. All these things, right? But I'm just terrible at this thing. And then this is wound. And okay, wound. I feel the raw, open wound within me start to close. It took almost a year, but I feel like the sutures I made from resilience and self-love and faith heal the hate and anger and sadness that would constantly ooze out of me. And while I'm glad for this wound to close, and while I'm happy that this chapter of my life is finally about to close, I don't know how I'll live without something that has haunted me, that's lived within me for so long. I guess I'll learn once the wound finally closes. I think I hold on. No, I don't hold on. I think that I'm just wired to feel things very immensely, and that is great because I'm creative, and then that's not so great because then I end up being devastated. And that's like, okay, so the poems for my poems for tomorrow, if I am here doing a live, will be very interesting. All right, let's move on to 2023. We actually have one. And it's actually a nice poem. This is from 2023. Celestial. The celestial sky knocks upon me reminds me there is a God. Who else could have created such a perfect paradise on earth? Who else could have brought me and my son, a product of my teenage impulsivity, to such a majestic and beautiful place? Who else can prove to me over and over again I'm writing the most epic and wonderful love story that is my life? I think finding these poems right now where I talk a lot about God and faith and healing is very, I don't know, serendipitous. It's a good coincidence because I don't feel so well lately. Okay. Alright. I actually had one. I had a few from 2024. This is autonomy. I hold on to my autonomy as tightly as possible now that I fully belong to myself. I don't care to share myself with anyone else. My autonomy gives me full clarity and peace. My autonomy has been stripped for the minute I existed, born a damaged being, couldn't eat, and no control over my legs and hip. That does strange things to the brain of a kid. Made me obsessed in my middle age with my autonomy. So I was a disabled child, and it was very sad. And that didn't, I don't know, I think that made me neurodivergent, I guess. Okay, so this one is from 2024, and I think I mentioned in my other videos how it's quotes, feminist quotes from a calendar my friend gave me. So this poem is inspired by this quote. Now that I'm 91 as opposed to being 90, I'm much wiser, I'm much more aware, and I'm much sexier. Betty White, Golden Girl. Okay, this one's entitled, With age comes the knowledge and wisdom. I want to know all of the answers to the questions that burn in my subconscious. Why am I like this? Why am I such a drama queen? What made me neurodivergent? Why did he leave again? When can I declare I'm healed? Who was I before trauma changed my brain? Why does Cupid's arrow always hit me with emotional earthquakes? I guess I had a lot of questions. I don't know. EITS. Okay, this is about a guy, the person that I got annoyed. Oh, it's an angry poem. People just shouldn't annoy me or underestimate me. So this was EITS. EITS. Throw me your title and pretentious acronyms like it's important, like I fucking care. With your voice clothed in white supremacy condescension, you ask me if I know what IETS means. And my ancestral wound was triggered. So I bit back as savagely as I could while maintaining some semblance of cordiality. Stunned, he said bye and hung up the phone. I feel empowered, like I made my ancestors proud. Well, at least the indigenous ones. I bite back. I'm very nice. I'm a very nice person. I'm a very good person. I'm very sweet. But if you're not careful, I bite back. It's either that or I cut you out like tags on my clothing. Okay, is there any more? These are from 2024. Thought I had more. Oh, I don't. Okay. So this is from 2024. No one's here today, so I feel very nice. Oh, okay. Manuscript. Burning the manuscript of love once lived, experience, and loss. Called a truce with all of my former abuses. Became the weird and emotional supportive ex. Let go of years of resentment, anger, and tears to finally get to this place. Maybe it was the years of introspection and therapy. Maybe it was the 1,000 journal entries and pages of poetry. Finally, I feel like I'm turning a new leaf. And I sighed the biggest sigh of relief in my life. Gone are the days when I turned my exes into a villain and myself into their victim. Gone are the days when poetry came at the expense of their character because I needed someone to blame. I give the manuscript to the fire gods and watch it burn. A catharsis comes. There were never any losers or winners in this game of love. It was just a figment of this lovesick girl's imagination. It was just a symptom of my mental illness. And while I will not declare myself all the way healed, I declare myself liberated of any past demons that lived in me and fed off my insecurities. Accept and understand, even those with the best of intentions can hurt each other, and let go, let go, let go. The page is blank. I'm ready to write a new manuscript. I really needed to read this poem today, for reasons. I needed to understand that I could get to this place again, for reasons. Alright, milagro. Milagro. Caigo como Alicia de las Maravillas en tus brazos, en tu poesía. Caigo y estoy realmente jodida, ansiosa que nuestra historia termine en otra tragedia, miedosa que otra vez acabe al borde de la locura. Entonces intento alejarme de ti, pero es fútil. El universo y mis ancestros me mandan mensajes del más allá. ¿Qué eres? El milagro que he anhelado, esperado toda mi vida. I wrote this about someone that's not on YouTube. And we ended up being good friends. And I'm glad he's not on YouTube. I'm glad he doesn't follow me on the things, so. And this one's more. Wow, this live is going on and on. Okay. Untitled. Lingering elements of infancy hunts me in my subconscious and wakes me up at 3 a.m. written in pain. Pain triggered my manual labor and my second job, or a spontaneous hike. My hips remember my birth defect, the one that as orthopedic pediatric surgeon in Peru supposedly fixed, the one that gave me uneven legs and an inferiority complex, the one inherited by the Rivera side. And I curse God, the universe, and my ancestors for this terrible pain that drags on, pain that should be a long forgotten memory by now, but still haunts me and kills me physically in my middle age. I had hip dysplasia when I was born, and I had 2 surgeries as a baby, and then it was fine, but age and working a second job, doing manual labor, messed it up, and then I got arthritis, and yeah, I think that's what it is. Alright. Lion. I waited for you as long as I could. For days, then weeks, then months. Thought time and distance would heal the wound we both inflicted. And we would come back stronger. As solid as the strongest of trees. The one that never so much as tumbles even in the worst of natural disasters. But all time and distance did was show me repeatedly we weren't the eternal sunshine of the spotless mind story I had written in my mind. We were never meant to be each other's soulmates. We were just karmic placeholders. And while this message came to me in the form of epiphanies, after therapy, after dreams, It was hard to accept it fully. Until on a Wednesday at an open mic, he appeared. Nothing like you at all. Brave and bold and the heart of a lion. He spoke his then gave me his book. Oh my God. And that's the day I stopped waiting for you. Lost was a spot in my heart left for you, and it was replaced by the lion's energy. Oh my God. I can't believe I just read that. That was very misleading. Okay, 100 Years of Solitude. I've never read 100 Years of Solitude, but then again, I never needed to, because when you left, I felt an infinite amount of years of solitude in my bones, in my heart, felt the ache, longing, and yearning, thought that it would kill me, and prayed on my knees before the trees for relief as I cried. Never understood until later how the death of us was needed for me to resurrect like a goddess, going from a child of self-destruction to nurturer of love, becoming the most authentic and most empowered version of myself, the one you never had the bandwidth to understand. That could be written about many of my exes, actually. I'm so funny, haha, bro. Oh, somebody is watching. Okay, I'm gonna be on my best behavior now. Frida and Patty. When Frida had that almost fatal car crash that broke her body and paralyzed her for months, she picked up a canvas and painted herself out of the world of despair and madness she was in, as if her life depended on it. And when I had my emotional earthquake that broke my mind and spirit, the one that left me in a dark world of despair and madness, I picked up my pen and paper and laptop to write myself out of it, as if my life depended on it. Turning pain and turmoil into art was the only thing that kept both of us alive, that kept both of us on the precipice of sanity, that kept us from not giving up and continuing to fight the demons in our bodies and minds. Oh, that person left. Good. Okay, I'm not going to read this one just in case if somebody comes back. But I will read this one. This one's nice. Grounding. I ground myself in my new muse. Read poetry that's inspired by you. Send subtle hints that I'm thinking of you. Write silly manifestations the universe will take steps in my direction. And one day you'll notice me. Pray that I'm not wrong in making you the muse of my poetry. Ooh, that read wrong. Scrolling. Self-immolation is becoming a trend, the only way to draw extreme attention to your cause, the only way to send a message to the world about atrocities being committed, about how society is crumbling right before our eyes, but we're too distracted by the algorithm to notice anything. Humans burn in front of us. We watch in horror, then scroll to the next trending disaster or meme. I'm not going to read that one. This one is cute. Best part of my chef. Best part of my chef. Mom and daughter dance on aisle 13 to Charlie Puth. They laugh as they twirl. Love and joy observed. The best part of my chef. Alright. Let's go. Alright, so these are from 2025, you guys. Or nobody that's here. This is great. I just have one cringy poem. Soft heart. When my soft heart is taken advantage and stomped on, my rage shows up in full battle gear ready to fight. I lose all skills learned in therapy, and Harlequin appears. It is untitled. So much left unsaid after pressing the unfriend button last night. Never thought it would come to this, but as I found myself almost rage commenting on another one of your posts defending RFK, trying to convince people he's really a good guy and not the cruel and ignorant individual who has dehumanized neurodivergent children like ours, who called them defective and wants to essentially erase them. That's when I knew it was time to cut you out of my life. Couldn't allow your cult-like energy to pollute my social media feed. And besides, there's no way to wise mind and convince anyone that RFK wants the best for our children. He doesn't. Not at all. But maybe this disappointment should be on me. Something I should have seen coming. After all, you came from an ivory tower world full of privilege, while I come from a humble working class background. You'll never in your life have to worry about your child being pulled over or hassled for being a brown man. So much left unsaid after pressing the unfriend button last night. Never thought it would come to this. But then again, we are living in unprecedented times where I keep learning who does or who doesn't deserve a place at my family's table. Times where I have to cut out anyone who is a threat to mine and my family's existence, even if I've known them for years or decades. God. This last poem is so cringe. But whatever. Okay. Day 19, untitled. Anxious, this latest flame will extinguish. Untitled. Anxious, this latest flame will extinguish before we begin, even though it continues to burn and grow, even though I haven't yet been annoyed and am completely smitten. But given my past history, my data tells me how these things always go badly for me, and a voice whispers, you should stop this and block him. But then I pause, breathe. This time I won't allow fear and insecurity to control me, because this time I'm starting this new story as a healthier and wiser version of myself. One who took the time to be alone to figure out who I was and wanted before dipping my toe into the pool of love. How nice to have hope about that. I should have listened to my inner voice. Okay, that's it. Woo!